we are going to check out 14 and 15. All right, let's everybody start with that. So 7 out of 50 and 3 out of 20. All right, we have to compare. Oh, thank you. We have to compare. All right, so in order to compare, I want everyone to be able to take this fraction, 7 over 50, and what do I change it to? Thank you.
Well, yeah, I'll answer that. I just don't know what to choose.
Well, let's just look up on the board, put your paper down. All right, get your paper out from yesterday and just follow along with me.
Okay.
All right. I think it was like 90 or something. 97. Thank you. Maggie, what are you thinking?
14 over 100.
Yes, please, please, please learn that trick. I don't feel like dividing. That is 7/50ths is the same as 14 out of 100. You guys have worked with fractions. I think we know that. Is everybody good with that? Which then, Maggie, means it's what decimal? 0.14. All right. Now, Mikey, 3 out of 20 is the other fraction we are dealing with. So if I'm looking at 3 out of 20, what do I need to do? Make it 15 out of 100. And 15 out of 100 is what decimal? 0.15. That's very smart. Very good. Kelvy, how am I doing today? Is that okay? Right? You understand that? Austin, how are you?
Good.
Does that make sense what we did?
Yeah.
All right, remember, you guys got to talk to me more. All right, if you're not sure about something, I want you to speak up and tell me. So does the greater fraction of water usage come from lawn or from cooking? Which one's greater? Cooking, right? Because 15 out of 100 is bigger. All right, I like that. Okay. Now, I really don't like this because I can't see an easy way. Ooh, I can see an easy way for 34 out of 40, but I don't see an easy way for 26 out of 30. All right, what are you thinking?
Just make it 120.
Just what?
Make it 120.
Wow, wow, that's good remembering about fractions. Wow, look, everybody look up. I'm super proud of you for that, Mikey. All right, super proud. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do 34 over 40 and 26 out of 30. And he said, instead of changing to a decimal, it'd be easier just to get common denominators. So he just said out of 120, I'm gonna let you help me in a minute. Okay, so he just said, make it out of 120. So if I make this out of 120, what do I multiply by, Mikey? 3. And what's 3 times 34? 102. And what do I multiply 30 by? Yep.
104.
You're brilliant. So now what is that, Mikey? So on which test did he have the better score? Which was the 26 out of 30, right? Yeah, the 26 out of 30 is the better score. 26 out of 30 is the better score. I like that a lot.
Oh, I thought we were dividing.
Yeah, we can. You definitely can divide, and we're going to divide. Most definitely. Yes.
So the 30 and 26 is at 0.86 repeated.
Okay, so let's do that. I'm awesome. I'm proud of you for that. All right. Yes.
I got the same answer, although I kind of just did it quickly. I just did like 30 minus 26, and you got 4 questions wrong, and 40 minus 34, or 40 minus 34, and you got
6 questions.
wrong. And then
But guess what? That doesn't always work. All right. It did work in this case, but it doesn't always. Okay. So that's a good thought. All right. But let's do what Austin says. We're going to divide 26 by 30. All right. Now, what we're going to do here is I want to do 30 because I want to show you don't have to do all of the division. So I want 30 and then I want 26. Everybody put this on your paper. And then I want 40 into 34. Okay. So how many times does 30 go into 260? We're doing, how much was that?
8.
So now I'm putting an 8 here. And now that's 240. Do you agree with that? When we subtract, we get 20. Now, I'm not going to continue the division. I'm going to do the other division problem. Please listen. All right, this is how you should be doing it on a standardized test. Now, what decimal do I want to put down? How many times do I think 40 goes into 34? Come on, someone tell me, how many times do we know for sure? Probably.
0.
No. I'm sorry, 40 into 340. That was a good answer. What?
8 times.
Because what? How do we think it was 8? Or why would we start with 8?
Because we know that 9 would not go in, so we just go to 8 because it full 8 times 4 is 30.
Yes, that's good. If you know the division. But what I'm saying is, because the first one was 8, the second one's probably going to be what also? 8. Right? So now 8 times 40 is what? Come on, everyone's doing this with me. Kelby, you look a little relaxed there, man. You're doing the division too. 320. And when I subtract, what do I get? I get 20. All right. And now I bring down to 0, bring down to 0. Now, how many times does 30 go into 200? 6 times. All right. Now, when I do that, that's 180. How many times does 40 go into 200?
5.
5 times. Do I have to do any more? Do I have to do any more division?
No.
No, because I already have established now that this 86 is greater than the 0.85. Even though, like Austin said, there's going to be a repeated number in there, Austin, and you are absolutely correct. So I was happy for your division on that. Do you hear me? All right, that was nice. But we now know we only have to look at the number of decimals until we can establish one is bigger than the other. Everybody okay with that? Anybody have any questions? All right, I'm pretty happy. All right, so now let's go down now to question number 16 through 27. That's what we're kind of working on right now. What? Yeah, no, let me go around the room here on 16. All right. Lila, what do you think in 3/8 is?
You can divide.
Yeah, let's just divide it out, okay? So here we go, 8. Everyone's doing the division, and then we won't have to do division anymore after this.
But I thought we had a shortcut for that.
Yeah, we do, if you remembered it. If you remember,
Wait a second.
no, I don't want you to say it, but you can, it is something that is memorized,
I mean, I gotta remember that.
right? So if you remember it, that's good. You can just put the answer. All right, but I still want to do the division on this one just for practice. All right, tell me what to do, Lila.
But I found it, so
It is what?
0.375.
Yes, it is 0.375, but let's just do the division anyway.
8 goes into 33 times.
Good.
Into 24, and then it's 6. 8 goes into 60.
Yep,
7 times.
right.
56, and then you get 4. It goes into 45.
Yep. All right, Kelvin, I'm watching you. I just did a whole division problem. I don't think you did that division problem. All right. Come on. All right, 7 out of 20. Mr. Ward, what am I going to do for this guy? Yeah, you can divide. There's a quick way, though. Remember, we want to make it out of 100. That's right. And what is it? And what's decimal is that? Yes, sir. That's how I prefer. All right. If you forget, can you always do the division?
Yeah.
Yes, you can always do the division. All right. Max, tell me about 18. What do I need to do for this?
Times it by 4.
You're awesome. What is that?
Negative point, negative point,
Well, what's 8 times 4, buddy?
32.
So it's 32 over what?
32 over 100.
So what decimal is that?
Point 32.
That is correct. I'm good. Ugh, 3/16 is annoying. All right, 3/16 is annoying. What? Now, I don't want you to tell me what the answer is. We're gonna divide it. All right, I know, I'm sorry. Let's divide. Everybody's gonna divide 16 into 3. Come on now. So how many times does 16 go into 30?
6 times.
Be careful. 16, that's correct. 16 into 30, not 3 into 16. That's what you did by accident. Don't worry. All right.
20?
2 times 16 is 32.
Once.
Once. Here we go. Don't forget the decimal. Now subtracting, we get a.
You get 4.
Yep. Uh-oh, but remember you borrowed and made that a, well, wait a minute, you forgot the 2.
Oh, 1.
Yes. Now bring down the what?
0.
Yes. All right. So now we have to tell me how many times to figure out 16 goes into 140. What was it, Maggie?
8 times.
Let's try 8. Let's see if she's correct. Tell me what 16 times 8 is.
It was like 100.
8 times 10. 6 times 8 is. 6 times 8 is what?
Oh, 40.
Yes. So now 48 plus 80. You can do it.
100.
Yay, that's how you practice. 128. All right, now we're going to subtract. Good. Bring down a 0. So now does everybody agree, since it was 8 was 128, it's got to be a little less than 8, right? So we're going to do 7. And now 16 times 7. What's 7 times 10?
70.
Plus 6 times 7. 100.
100.
I think it's 112, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to
Yeah,
add the
that's
10.
all right. That's all right. 112. Now when you subtract, bring down the, all right. And now 16 goes into 80. 4 times 6, or 4 times 10. 4 times 6 is, so then 4 times, or let's do 16 times.
Oh, it goes into it 5 times.
Yeah, there you go. 5 times. Don't worry. No worries. That's why we're practicing. So there you have it. All right. So that's the decimal. And then don't forget, it is in fact what here, guys? Negative. All right. It's negative. All right. Does anybody have any questions with that? That's not too bad. All right. Let's take a look now at 4/5. All right. Everyone's going to tell me about 4/5. How can I do this one, Kelby? Yes, sir. Multiply by 2. Thank you, Kelly. So that's correct. Very good. Okay, I'm happy with you again. I don't know until the bell rings. We're just going till the bell rings, honestly. Okay? So I don't want you to have homework. So now you want to help me with 21. What do I do?
You said 21 or 25 times 4,
Yes.
and then 1 times 4 is 36. So it's 0.36.
Thank you, kiddo. Perfect. 0.36. Okay.
All right.
1/8. I told you what 1/8 was yesterday. Who remembers? Without looking? Tell me.
The 0.125.
You're awesome, buddy. Thank you. Very good. So negative, he even said it properly. 0.125. That is great. Do you have to memorize that? No, because if you want, you can just do the what? Yeah, what do you mean by do the work?
Divide it.
You just have to divide it. Yes, ma'am.
How would you get that answer if it wasn't like written on? Is there a shortcut?
No, it's just something when I'm from experience, 1/8 occurs a lot on problems. Right. So in my head, I just remembered it. Right. But I did remember it because I knew 1/8 was half of 1/4. So 1/4, I'm going to say that one more time. 1/4 is 0.25, right? But if I add a 0, it was easy for me to divide that by 2 now. And that's how I knew that was 0.125. Does that make sense? That's really helpful if you know that fraction as a decimal. Ugh, is 16 gross? Is dividing by 16? Does everybody see that? All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do this last one more. 16 goes into 7. Everybody's got to do this. All right, everybody do this one. All right, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to give you a minute, and then I want all of us to tell me what the right answer is. If we're all okay, so tell me, what was it?
I got -0.4375.
Anybody else get that? Yes? Is everybody good? Who said no? Max? All right, let's just do it real quick, Max. All right, because I want you to understand it. I think she's correct. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna leave this up here, Max, and we're gonna talk about it, okay?
16 divided by 2 is 3.5 over 8, and then I just did like because 1/8 is 1.5, divide that by 2, and then add that to 1.5 times 3.
Yep. All right, now for this, do you agree, Max, 4 times 16 was 64?
4 times 16 is 64, yes.
Right, and then when you subtracted, you should have gotten a 6, then you bring, yeah. And then you,
Oh, I was doing it by 8.
oh, okay.
After that,
Okay, so you see your mistake now, right?
yeah.
Because it's really 3, because then that would be 48, right?
Mhm.
Agreed?
Yeah,
All right, so can we stop there? Do you want me to keep going with you?
you can stop there.
Yeah, I see. If you see your mistake, that's good. If you see your mistake, that's good. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to look at the next ones. All right, the next one, besides 33 over 45, the other ones I'd like us to be able to look at and say what the decimal is. All right, so let's everybody look at 3 over 11. Does anybody remember from my explanation? Sophia, what did we do?
You multiply each one by 9.
Yes, multiply by 9. And so that's going to be what?
0.27.
Yes, because 27 over 99 is 0.27 repeated. All right. I'm good with that. Right, everybody good with that? Now I want to skip 25 for a minute. And go ahead, since Austin, you already told me. Tell me what to do here for 26.
11. So I divided it, but you can do 11 times 9.
Yes, sir.
9, and it is 0.45.
Thank you. That is correct. Because you ended up with negative 45 over 99. I think that's a really nice little trick to do the 11s. I don't feel like dividing that. Yes.
For number 25, can you get
You know what? I'm super proud of you for that. Super proud. Listen, that's good. So then what? So let's look at this real quick. All right, now this is, I didn't want to say this because I think it's a little bit harder. All right, but you can make that what? 66 out of what? 90, right? But what's the problem? It's not 99. It won't, well, we're gonna divide it out, right? Because let's I want to divide because I want to show you the pattern here. All right, I want to show you the pattern. I think this is a good problem to do. So let's go ahead and do 45, and I'm going to help you since I said we weren't going to have to do another long one, but let's do 45. Everybody do this for me. 33.0, and we can see if we can figure out a pattern here. Now, again, for me, I always learned when I was doing long division, that's part of the reason why I hate it, is because I just did 4 goes into 33. How many times? How many times does 4 go into 33? 8, but I always learn because I'm doing with big numbers that that's usually 1 too many. So instead of 8, I'm going to try what? 7. So let's do 45 times 7. Now notice I'm doing the work, all right? So that's why I'm asking everybody else to do the work. So 7 times 5 is 35, carry the 3, 31. So that was 315. So I feel pretty good about that. So 0.7, right? And then I'm just going to do 315. And now when I subtract, of course, I end up with 15, add a 0. So I did, how many times does 4 go into 15? 3 times. All right. And so I'm going to do 45 times 3. And I knew that was 135. What's the matter?
for number 32.
I'm not on 32. All right, we're doing 25, buddy. Stay with me. That's why I want you, stay with me. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get 33 to 66?
Well, because we did times 2. She was trying to figure out if there was a, because it's out of 90, that's close to 99.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see if there's a pattern for 90. You with me on that?
Yeah.
But I told her it really wasn't at this moment a good idea to talk about 90. So we're just going to divide it and see if we can make a connection.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So are you good with all the division so far?
Yeah.
All right. So then we said 3 goes here, which is now 135. And then when I subtract, that's 15, correct?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It would be 100.
Well, 150 again, wouldn't it? So do you agree it's just a repeated decimal now?
Yeah.
Right? So it's 0.7. Now look, guys, we haven't done this. So let's take a look at this one. I like this one. It's 0.7. And then what happens to the 3? So everybody see the 3 is repeating?
Yes.
Right? Do I put the bar over everything?
No,
Only the what?
3.
Only the 3. So that's why it's 0.73 repeated. Okay. So there is a little trick to that, but I don't want to get into it right now. Yes, ma'am. Good for you. That's a good question. So let's look at it. Okay. Now, if I continue here, the next number is going to be a 3, 135, subtract, bring down the 0, and then it's another 3.
It's just repeating.
That's right. It's just the 3. It's not the what?
7.
It's not the 7. It's not 7 3 7 3 7 3. It's just 7 3 3 3 3 3.
And so we're only doing like 9.
Yes, that's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. The only little shortcut is if the 3, I mean, if it's over 99, not just 90.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's very good questions. All right, so now everybody can look at 27 and we can just write the answer down. What's the answer to 27?
-2.
Negative what?
Negative 0.2 repeating.
Negative 0.2 repeating. I'm good with that. All right, I forget, what time's the bell ring? 12:12. Okay. So let's carry on. After 27, let me see what's next. All right. Ugh. Okay, so let's look at 28. All right, Mackenzie, read 28 for me, please.
The customer service department resolved 106 of 120 customer complaints in a 1 hour time span. The nearest thousand, find the resolve rate of the customer service department.
So what do they want me to do here?
Divide 106 into 120.
Yeah, well, divide 120 into 100.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's okay too. But let's first write it as a fraction, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna write it as 106 over what?
120.
All right, now we haven't done this either, but some of you guys have been impressive with your fractions. What would make this an easier division problem? Tell me, Kelvin.
Multiply times 5.
Ooh. I like that. But I don't like the fractions getting bigger unless they're going to 100 or to 500. If I multiply by 5, that'll take me to 600. So that's good. All right, but listen to this explanation. What should I do?
So you should divide it by either 2 or 4.
Well, definitely not 4. How do I know it's not 4? No, because the last 2 digits, if you want to know if something's divisible by 4, look at the last 2 digits. Is 6 divisible by 4? No, so it's not divisible by 4. It'd only be divisible by what? 2. So we're going to divide by 2. All right. That way the division problem isn't as big. So everybody divide that by 2, divide that by 2. And what is 106 divided by 2?
30,
Practice our mental math, please.
53,
53,
and then 60.
53, and 60. Yes, that is correct. All right, is everybody happy with that? Now, we have some time, so I'm just going to practice some division today. And I promise you, all right, this will be the end because after this, we're going to be able to use our calculators to do this. All right, but I just want to practice our division, right? Curtis, I haven't called on you much. Are you good with the division? Anybody having trouble with the division? All right, so I know it's annoying. All right, so here we go. Let's do 53 divided by 60. All right, let's do 53 divided by 60. So here we go. Kelvin, you got to hurry for me if you're going. So 60, 53.0. All right. What did you say? All right, so how many times, and again, just to make sure, because I haven't said, I'm just looking at the 6 and the 53. How many times does 6 go into 53? What are we thinking, guys? Tell me, Curtis. 9 times 6 is 54. So not 9, but let's try 8. 60 times 8. What's 6 times 8? How much? No. You're thinking 8 times 8. 6 times 8 is, nope.
Oh,
There you go, 48. Don't worry. Then you add a 0. All right, so that's the first decimal. Now, does everybody remember that's the 10th spot? All right, so when I subtract, what do I get now, Curtis? 53 minus 48, what's that? Just count up real quick. 48 to 50. And then to 55, thank you. Now add a 0. Ooh, that one's kind of nice because It's the same because 500 is close to what? 480, right? Shh. No, come on, come on. How many times does 6 go into 50? Shh. I want him to tell me. Look, Curtis, you're not seeing this right here, buddy. I'm gonna highlight something. Do you see that number? Isn't that close to 500? So it's the same answer. So what was it? Yes. Now remember, Curtis, if you're like, man, I don't know what the guy's saying. I want you to tell me. Do you agree with me? So you understand it's an 8, right? So now, So again, I don't even have to redo the problem, right? Because I know it's going to be 480, right? Now, when I subtract, what do I get? Is it 2 or 20? 20. Now, what do I have to do? Thank you for hurrying. Bring down another what? 0. So now this is the hundredths. I got one more space before I get to the thousands. So how many times does 60 go into 200? Now remember, 6 goes into 20. How many times? 3. Perfect. So 3 times 60 is what? 3 times 60 is what? Yes. Don't forget a what at the end. Yes. Now it's just going to repeat because I get the same number. Yeah. So yes, it'd be 0.883, and the bar goes only over the what? Only over the 3. All right, only over the 3. You agree with that? That's kind of painful, right? It's annoying. I don't like division either, but we have to make sure we can do it. All right, everybody has to make sure. Only you're sitting there going, no, if you know how to do the division or not. All right. So I'm good with that. All right, we can skip number 29. All right, what time does the bell ring again? Yeah, we have like 6 minutes, so let's just knock these out. Let's do a few of these. All right. I want someone to look at 6/15 and tell me how I could make that easier. Austin, I appreciate you today.
Well, I divided it, but.
What did you get?
0.4.
Wow, that is correct. So what's true? They're equal. Bless you, bless you. Now, someone else, instead of dividing, I could have done what? Can someone tell me? Kelvin,
Multiply
by what?
by 5,
What goes into both of them?
2.
What goes into 3? So let's divide by 3. So Kelvin, if I divide by 3, what do I get?
You get 2 and 5.
And what's 2/5 now? What can I multiply that by, Kelvin? Come on, keep looking up.
Multiply that by 2.
And yes, and so what is that?
4/10.
And what's 4/10?
0.4.
Yes, sir. All right, that makes sense, right? Hopefully that made sense. All right, Aiden, I'm going to let you talk to me for a second. Tell me what you're thinking. How do I convert 7/20 to a decimal? Or I'm sorry, 17/20. Are you with
Would you
me, Aiden?
multiply by 4?
By how many?
4.
Well, what's 20 times 4?
Oh, I mean 5.
Yes, sir. Multiply by 5. All right. So I'm going to wait for you to tell me what multiplying by 5 converts to. What's 17 times 5?
85, 100.
That's correct. Right. So what decimal is that?
0.85.
Exactly. So now you're comparing 0.7 to 0.85. What do we notice? What are you thinking?
I don't know, but
Okay, so let's listen. I'm glad you said that, Aiden. So we're gonna look at 0.7 and we're comparing it to 0.85. Now, the easiest way is to make sure there's the same number of decimals. So there would be like 2 decimals, so you can make the 0.7 0.70, correct?
Mhm.
And so now what can you say is true?
that 0.7 is less than 0.85.
Thank you, sir. That is exactly correct. Right, that's exactly correct. All right, because I'm staring at number 33, someone tell me what's true about 33. Tell me, Sophia.
You can just multiply 5/7 by 2,
Yeah, multiply 5/7 by 2, and what does that become?
10/14.
Yes, 10/14. Does everybody see that? So I don't feel, anytime I could avoid the division, I avoided the division. So everybody, if you multiply by 2, that becomes 10/14. So the answer is they're equal. I'm happy with that. Okay, now everyone can repeat after me. What is 1/8 again? What is 1/8? Yes, 0.125. Thank you. What's 1/10? Negative 0.1. So now we are comparing negative 0.125 to negative 0.1. Don't make this silly mistake. Nora.
Negative 125 is less than negative.
Right, because we could make this 100 to make it easier for your eyes. Does everybody see that? Everybody good? All right, guys, I hope you feel like you did now completely understand fractions to decimals. You're just dividing, all right? And I taught you a few shortcuts. So you now can pack things up for me. That was a great job for today. All right, Aiden, I hope you have a nice weekend, buddy.
You too, bye.
Hope to see you soon.